I'm Jaclyn Marie and welcome back to my channel. So last time I posted on Wednesday, which is normally what I'm going to do, but because I figured since New Year's is coming up and everybody's going to be out and partying, I figured that I would film a video to help you guys out with a little tutorial. So it's going to kind of be more of a like silver and violet look. It's going to be super cool and I'm super excited. So stay tuned. You can follow me on Instagram at JaclynMarieB, Twitter at JaclynMarie1, and my Snapchat is Jaclyn1001. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and spray my face with this Mario, don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm going to go ahead and spray my face. My favorite, it doesn't taste good. It smells good. I love the smell of like roses and stuff. Like, it just smells so good. So yeah, that was so gross. Ew. Okay, great start to this video. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize my face with this Neutrogena Hydro Boost moisturizer. Okay, moisturizer is a really important step in getting a nice, smooth, clean base for your skin when doing your makeup, but I do not like to use primer, mainly because when I use it, it makes my face look more greasy, and that's not what I want, so that's why I don't use it. But I really like to use this like Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream under my eyes, because my eyes really crease like super bad, and using this has really like helped. Like, of course there is still creasing just because that's how my face is. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is get a green color correcting stick. I don't see a lot of YouTubers really color correcting their face, which really shocks me because I'm like obsessed with it, because I have a lot of redness everywhere on my face. So I just color correct my face to really kind of get rid of that, because it's mainly a lot of scarring, because I used to be really bad at like picking out my pimples, which I still am, but like I've gotten better at it and like realized that my skin doesn't like that. So yeah, so that's why I color correct. Green helps with redness, and then this pink stick that I have really helps with the like dark spots. Okay, so I just go ahead and put that everywhere where I think I need it, and then right after that I don't blend that in first because it doesn't really do very much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with my Marc Jacobs foundation, which I am obsessed with. If you watch my last video, you know. I literally, like, it's crazy how obsessed I am with this. Like, it's probably way too orange for my skin tone, and it's not gonna look good because I'm like super pale right now since it's like winter time and I don't go outside. Well, I don't really go outside in the summer either, but like I really don't go outside in the winter time because I hate the cold. So I'm like extra pale, so it's way too orange for me, but I use it anyway because I have an obsession. Okay, so I always do this thing where I'll like put foundation on my cheeks, chin, my upper lip, not upper lip, above my lip, and then I'll wait until after I like blend this out to put it on my nose and forehead, because otherwise it dries down on my especially with this foundation, since it's mattifying, it dries down. And so like it'll start to dry down and then it'll like harden and then it won't blend out. So yeah, helpful tip there. When blending out my foundation, I really like to use a microfiber beauty blender that I got from Juno & Co. It's really good and it does a really good job at really blending in my foundation and not making it look super cakey. And it's also really good because it's only about $6, I think. The only downside to it is it takes about a few weeks to ship, but it's totally worth the wait. When you're doing your foundation, make sure you really blend it down your neck, otherwise you can create lines which doesn't look good on anyone. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to be taking some Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and just applying it under my eyes. Next, I'm going to be taking some Extraordinary Translucent Powder. It's really small because it's like a sample, but it's so good. Once I'm out, I'm going to have to buy more. So I just take it in the lid of another powder that I have because it's too small to try and like get out and mess with it. So then I'm going to be taking a Morphe M439 brush to just really like pat this on. It should be used for like a foundation brush, but like I don't use my foundation with a brush, obviously, so I'm gonna do this instead. Because it is a foundation brush, it's a lot tighter and compact, so it really does help you pack in the powder more than just a regular fluffy brush would. Okay, so then I'm going to take a Morphe M501 brush to really help set the under eyes of my face, because like with a bigger brush like that, you can't get as under as well to like really help set the creases. So I'm just going to do that. I'm also going to use this brush to get on my nose, because that's where the problem place is for me. And then also another thing that I like to do is I'll set really well right here on my face, because this is where I crease the most, because when I smile, creases. Okay, so now that I'm as pale as a ghost, I'm going to go ahead and take my bronzer. It's in the shade Oliver, so it's a cool toned bronze. And I'm going to take a Morphe M527 and just get some bronzer on my brush, obviously. And I'm going to apply it to my cheekbones right here. And I'm careful not to go down past about right here, because otherwise it just like makes me look older. Okay, so now that that's all done, I'm going to go ahead and take a Morphe E4 brush and get into the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. And I'm going to take another cool tone shade, I think it's called Subconscious. So I'm gonna take that. And oops. That kind of got everywhere. It's fine. Just tap that off. So I'm gonna blend that. Also, I'm really careful when I contour to make sure I also go up here because it really helps like blend it out and make it look more natural. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and get things straight right here. Contour and bronzer are not the same thing. Bronzer works as more of a transition shade, whereas contour is the really defining thing. So it's kind of like adding black to an eyeshadow look. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with some blush. I got this for free at Ulta because I spent so much money, per usual. So I take a fan brush. Okay, so I just get some of that. I get it on, obviously I get it on this part of this part. And I get quite a bit on there with this specific blush because it's not very noticeable. And I just put it right above the bronzer to like help blend it together. And then again, just like the contour, I really take the blush all the way up to my temple to make it look more natural. So that's all complete. So as you can see, I go pretty light with my blush just because I don't want it to look like super unnatural. My face, I feel like, is already red, so I don't want it to look redder, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's why I don't use a whole lot of blush. Like, I still use it to add more color to my face and make me not look super pale like I am, but yeah. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to brows. If I was just doing a natural look like this and I wasn't gonna do eyeshadow, I would have added highlighter there. But since I'm gonna do eyeshadow, I'm gonna add highlighter like almost at the very end because otherwise I feel like it'll like smear off when I'm trying to do my eyeshadow. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just me or what, but like if I do it before eyeshadow, it'll just like kind of rub off. So I'm going to go on now to my eyebrows. I'm going to take Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Chocolate. And I'm going to take, nope, not that one. Where is it at? Okay, 5 hours later, I found my Morphe M158. And I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. When I do my brows, I just take really tiny brush strokes to make it look more defined and natural. Okay, so those are done, and this one's looking a little dark. So I'm going to go ahead and fix those up with some concealer. I like to take mine on a Morphe M410 brush. An M410 brush is the best brush to use just because it's smaller, so it's a lot easier to use. So now that those are all nice and cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and take Benefit Brow Gel in the shade 5. And I'm just kind of going to use that to keep them in place. Some days when I'm feeling lazy, I like to just use brow gel because I don't have time every day to do my brows. So brow gel, especially tinted kind, is a really good fix for that. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my Smashbox eyeshadow primer. And you only have to use like a little bit of this. Be sure to apply your eyeshadow primer all over your lids. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move a little bit closer up so that way you guys will be able to see me doing my eye. But I went ahead and I'm taking my Jaclyn Palette and I'm taking the shade Silk Cream, which is this one. And I kind of lightly got this on the back of a Morphe M433 brush. And I'm just going to apply this right here, like right about there, higher up, to really kind of like blend the shade out. So now with another M433 brush, which is a little cleaner, I'm going to take this really like light violet shade that I think is called Hunts. I almost said Hummus. And I'm just going to go ahead and dip my brush lightly in that, so that it's better to go lighter to begin with, because otherwise, if you put too much, there's no going back. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that underneath. So now that that's done, with the same brush, because I'm on a budget, I'm going to dip in to this really pretty dark violet burgundy shade right here, which I think is called Jax. Don't know if I pronounced it right. Jacz. Couldn't tell you, but I think that's what it's called. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip in with that, and I'll put it like right under here, so like right about here, to really help deepen it up. So now with my Morphe 39A palette, I'm going to dip into the shade Create, which is this one right here, and I'm going to use a Morphe brush M456. So I'm going to go ahead and dip into that. I'm using a smaller brush now because it'll really help me get more defined into the crease. I'm only applying the shadow to a little over half of my lid. Okay, so now that was looking the way that I wanted, I went ahead and I took some black on the tip of this brush in the shade Muse. I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with another brush. When using black, be really careful not to apply too much. Okay, so now that that is cut out the way I want it to be, I'm going to go ahead and take some Stila liquid eyeshadow in the shade Diamond Dust. I'm going to go ahead and use this to cut the crease. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that is good, and I'm literally in love. It's not even done yet, and I'm in love. My only complaint about these liners is maybe, or not liners, eyeshadows, is maybe because I applied a lot because it looks good, but it's kind of making my lash feel a little heavy. What I do like though is it's not really going up there, which is usually what happens when I use like liquid eyeshadows on my eyes because they're like super hooded, but I don't see that happening so far, so we'll see how that goes. Now, to kind of like tie together this look, I'm gonna take my brush that I keep using because I'm on a budget. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into some more of that violet shade that I used in the 39A palette. I think it's called Create. Can't really remember. And I'm gonna put it right underneath. I really like doing this because it really ties together like the whole look. So then with the back of this brush, I'm gonna dip in to a lighter shade. Don't know what it's called, but it's this one. I'm gonna dip into that to really help like buff it out and not make it look like bad. So we're gonna just like buff that out. When I do this also, I only like to take it to about here because it really helps, like, it makes your eyes look wider, because if I took it all the way in, it would really like darken that up. Okay, so then I'm gonna take the brush with the black on it and put that not on my waterline but directly under. So now just really blend that out. Okay, so now that that's buffed out and it's looking really dramatic and I'm super excited, I'm going to go ahead and take some white liner. I really like to do this, especially when I do darker looks like this, because it really helps my eyes pop. I'm going to go ahead and line my lower lash line. Okay, so see, that really helped my eyes to really pop even more. So now that that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and dip in back into my Jaclyn Hill palette in this shade, which is called Beam. It's kind of an off-white, like shimmery white color, and I'm gonna take an M431 and dip that in. I'm gonna just take it in the inner corner of my eye. I would use a silver, but I feel like that would really distract from up here, and I'm not trying to do that. Okay, so now that this eye is done, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera. Okay, so now this look is almost all complete, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm really happy this is on video. So I went ahead and I put some mascara on and everything. I wish I had fake lashes, but I'm on a budget. So next I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Rainbow Highlighter. Like, I know everyone is tired of rainbow stuff and mermaid stuff, don't get me wrong, I am too, but like, this highlighter is so good. Like, I don't know, it looks so nice on my like really pale skin tone, so I use it because it looks like it'd be like a dark color, but it's actually not. Like, it's like a very pretty, like, it's got like a really pretty diamondy shimmer. So now I'm going to use, I don't know what brush this is, kind of looks like this, not a Morphe brush. I got it off Ipsy, because, you know, I'm a subscriber. No, I really love it though. Like, I love being subscribed to that. So now that I have my highlighter on my brush, I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some MAC Fix Plus. Just one spritz, and then I go ahead and I dry it. I know some people do it the other way around, but personally I like this way better. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this right here, here, my nose, and above my lip. Oh, wait, and it dried. Cool, cool. Try this again. Okay. Okay. It's not like overwhelming, but it's also like you know it's there. That's what I like about it. So yeah, because I don't want to distract. Oh, I don't want to distract from my eyes by like people being like, look at that highlight, because the highlight's my eyes and that's where you should be looking. Alright, so my highlight is on. You probably can't see it that well, but it's there, I promise. So now I'm going to go in with my Kylie lipstick. This is the shade Butterscotch. It's a really pretty cream nude. I love Kylie so much. Like, she's so pretty, first off. Also, her lipsticks are so good. Her matte ones stay on all the time. So my look is all complete, and I'm really happy about how it turned out, and I hope you enjoyed watching my video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on this video and click the bell, because it really helps me out and it makes me happy when I see that people are enjoying my videos and subscribe to watch more. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram at JaclynMarieB, Twitter at JaclynMarie1, and my Snapchat is Jaclyn1001. I hope you enjoyed watching. See you next time.